In the previous section, we wrote more code for our 3 microservices. We are now ready to make our first deployment. In this video, we will prepare for deployment. We will add CrossOrigin Requests support to our services and also download the certificate from Azure that will allow us to make deployments. When creating a public API, we need to make our endpoints accessible to the outside world. Unfortunately, the browsers impose a strict rule on CrossOrigin requests, and we are going to get around that strict rule by allowing all methods and all origins to access our 2 microservices, the identity microservice and the deduce microservice. We are going to restrict our mail service because it should be only accessible via the deduce service. It only exists for us in order for us to be able to scale better and to split our microservices better. So how do we enable CORS? We scroll down to the configure method for every startup file and every service that we want to enable CORS, and we call the use CORS middleware. We are done with the first step of the preparations. You might remember that when we created the Service Fabric cluster, we were asked to create a new certificate, and we placed that certificate inside a vault. Now, we need that certificate in order to connect to the server. And I don't mean just by the browser. Of course, we are going to need it to connect from the browser and access the Service Fabric Explorer, but most importantly, we need to store the certificate in our certificate store in our local machine so that we can connect to the Service Fabric cluster and deploy there. So I'm gonna visit the vault, go to certificates. You can see the certificate is right there. Let's click on it. Click on it again to expand it, and now we are greeted with 2 options. We can download it in a CER format or in a PEM format. I downloaded the first one. The second one is also good for our purposes. Now I'm going to click on the install certificate, and this is the store location. Whatever you choose, you can choose either of them, but just make sure you remember what you chose. And also you need to remember what you chose at this option. I'm gonna go with personal. We need these 2 because we are going to use them in Visual Studio in a few moments in order to configure the deployment.